Hello everybody, welcome back to a new video here on the channel. My name is Patrick, also known as Necatis, and today we'll be discussing a harmonica with the classic Americana packaging that I picked up at Zeb's General Store in North Conway. Zeb's General Store is a magical place, really. It feels like something straight out of post-war America. The place is often full of tourists and has an old-school animatronic man welcoming you to the store.
There is no other store in New England that owns as much candy as we do, because we have the very best of good old-fashioned New England candy, offering it the way the general stores used to do.
This store is filled to the brim with local canned goods and jarred foods, fresh fruits, meats, and vegetables from nearby farms, homemade and old-fashioned candies, and a vintage working soda bar. On the second floor, past the walls adorned with moose and deer heads, is a whole section dedicated to stuffed animals, postcards, magnets, and classic Americana toys. In this section of toys, I found a simple harmonica. Made in China by Massachusetts company Schilling, this 16-hole harmonica is dressed in Cold War packaging. It's wildly out of tune, and the tones presented are a bit all over the place, but it was still charming nonetheless. Something about the simplicity and the cultural nostalgia about the whole thing spoke to me. In general, post-war America was a time of optimism. While it certainly had its obvious flaws, it also didn't feel so bogged down by the weight of unfettered late-stage capitalism. In my process of recording this instrument, I discovered each note was represented by 2 holes, thus giving me 8 notes for the blow and 8 notes for the draw, for a total of 16 notes. As far as the makeup of the pitches, they do ascend from left to right, but the notes given feel completely random in the key of C, and the jumps in notes do not remain consistent between the blow and the draw. To record the individual notes, I had tried a few different things, from using a straw to blow in the holes to using tape. What I ended up using was simple, just a microfiber cloth to cover the notes that I'm not recording, since that seemed to give me the purest sound. The VST itself, I decided to go a bit farther than usual on the design. Inspired by the space race of the Cold War, I went with a more celestial theme, with stars and some twinkling glass. I also included more faders instead of knobs, to allow others and myself more options to control the sound and manipulate it further. On top of this, I included the raw sounds as they are presented on the harmonica, alternating between the blow and the draw in the farmost left white keys. I colored them yellow for clarity. I then created a more pitched and tuned version on the right and colored them blue. When tuned and pitched correctly, the harmonica ended up sounding more like an organ than a harmonica, which I found interesting. Ultimately, I think this was a good experiment, but I do think I should revisit this in the future to try and get a more natural sound. I've included a link in the bio of this video to a decent sampler library on Piano Book that I have made using this instrument. If you make anything cool with this, please feel free to share with me. I would love to hear. I hope you all get as much enjoyment from this as I have. See you next time, Patrick.